not killing little children.
Final thoughts?
Absolutely. There is an investigation that needs to be public. We need to know exactly what went wrong and how not to repeat this, because it is absolutely unbelievable that we have access to this information afterwards. And the military had plenty of time. They had plenty of time and access to information. Outdated data is just not an answer.
Yeah, it's a horrible, horrible thing. Again, 168 dead girls, 14 teachers, and the U.S. government and CENTCOM refused to tell the public and those families what happened. Thanks to both of you. CNN's John King's up next. What voters in Maine are telling him about controversial Democrat Graham Plattner, all his controversies, his run for Senate, and more. Stay with us.
Live in a political and economic reality that is organic.
Another day in the finance department. Wait, did we pay this already? 6070 airfare, 6040 meals and entertainment. Receipts, expense reports, invoices, purchase orders. What's that? RAM? Cards with built-in policies. Expenses that submit themselves? Look at it go. Okay, but does it code automatic? Oh. We're fixing the parts of finance you hate. RAM. Love finance.
When shopping for personal loans, bait and switch rates can be deceiving. You can count on Credit Karma to help you find more accurate rates, because Credit Karma uses your credit profile to show you real offers with clear terms without hurting your credit scores. No smoke, no mirrors, just personalized rates. Download Intuit Credit Karma to get started.
Bring your heritage, bring your culture, but bring an open mind, because it's America.
This great American story of adventure and exploration changed everything.
All of our ancestors made possible what we have today.
That sense of discovery is one of the best feelings in the world. Delicious.
I realize how nice it is to have the freedom that we have.
This is the moment you become queen.
I got a really good feeling about this.
The Green Lantern's oath is to protect people.
Mr. Potter, I think we can expect great things from you.
This won't be just a stand-up show. This is bigger than just me. Pick up the pace! Here we
go! You will have an empire unassailable, and our children will rule it forever.
We act with holy purpose.
It is no longer safe here. There will be no doubt. The gods have chosen to rule.
The 5 Japanese-born players are returning to play in a major league game in front of their nation's fans for the first time.
This is the start of a journey for our team. We get to honor our teammates by coming to their home country.
These Japanese players are showing the kids this can be a dream for you if you want it.
Japan has taken baseball and recreated it in its own image.
Homecoming, the Tokyo series, now streaming on the CNN app.
My brother, he's unafraid, oddly charming, unpredictable.
Why are you here?
Nice to see you too, brother.
For all that we've been through, I still trust you more than anyone.
We're family now. It's the most important thing.
It's chopped on a deserted island. The baskets and the challenges are like nothing we've ever seen.
All new Chopped Castaways, Tuesday night at 9 on Food Network.
Are you ready? Food Network is bringing you the biggest home cook competition, judged by the biggest names in the culinary world.
Series premiere, 100 Cooks, Sunday, June 7th at 9 on Food Network.
Politics lead now. We're looking ahead to big primary dates in the month of June. Next Tuesday, California's governor's race is one to watch. Voters are going to decide which two candidates, regardless of party, move on to November's general election. Then the following Tuesday, look for the primary in Maine's U.S. Senate race. Democrat Graham Plattner pushing to replace Republican Susan Collins, who's been in office for nearly 30 years. Plattner is a Marine Corps veteran, yes, but then, of course, there's the tattoo on his chest that was a Totenkopf Nazi war skull and bones. He's since covered over with that. Of course, then there's also the old inflammatory posts on Reddit. CNN's John King went to Maine to see how Plattner's controversial past is sitting with voters, especially with women.
The Portland Headlight at Cape Elizabeth. Nearly half of Maine's population lives near the gorgeous southeast coast, and there are lots of these.
Do you stay with a known entity in which you have a lot of recent disappointments, Senator Collins? Or do you go with an unknown, a young political newcomer who has said some things that piss you off? Perfect.
Southeast Maine votes big-time blue. Portland and the towns an hour or so north and south are critical to any Democrat running statewide. Yes, Graham Plattner is a phenomenon, but Emily Bruce Plum is proof he still has a math problem.
I don't have all I need to be 100% behind him.
A Democratic Senate to stymie Trump would be a dream, and she's willing to move past shocking things Plattner has said about women and sexual assault.
What I like about the moment and the amount of people who are forgiving of the things he said is that it's not this purist cancel culture. I like that. I think we need to be able to give people second chances.
But she can't get to yes, despite all her Democratic friends who say stopping Trump is much more important than any Plattner shortcomings. Bruce Plum is a seasoned marketing executive and brand shaper. To her, the war veteran turned oyster farmer turned candidate sometimes feels too perfect.
I admire what they're doing as a brand builder, for sure. It's pretty flawless.
Does that worry you?
I know enough to know to ask questions. That's what I would say. I just want to see some more qualification.
Bath is about 40 miles up the coast. This, the northern end of Casco Bay. Like Plattner, Virginia Schaffer is an oyster farmer. Lady Oyster to those who come for her tours and tastings.
That's the sweetest part of the oyster, the adductor muscle.
Okay.
That's probably enough because it's looking a little pre-chewed at this point. So it's sort of a beautiful art. I fell in love with it, 12 years ago.
It's kind of hard to imagine this becoming this.
It truly.
Big generational change is more important to Schaffer than Plattner's imperfections.
I'm going to live a long life, and it's okay to give someone without some experience who really knows me and knows my lifestyle a shot. There are some problematic things there, but I think that we really need to think about people who understand life as it is today for a working community.
An example right there at the end, Jake, of the generational change we saw. A lot of the younger women who are inclined to be Democrats and progressive, don't like Donald Trump, would like the Senate blue. They're much willing to forgive Graham Plattner more quickly, if you will. There are a lot of professional women, college-educated women, who voted for Susan Collins maybe in the past. They're mad she hasn't stood up to Trump enough. They would love to flip the Senate blue, but they're just having a much harder time getting to Plattner because of his past. Doesn't mean they won't get there, but they're having a hard time.
All right, fascinating stuff. John King, thanks so much. We're learning a lot more about what former First Lady Jill Biden really thought at the time about her husband's 2024 debate performance. Not only did she think at the time that he was maybe having a stroke, she then thought maybe he'd been drugged. More of her comments and the reaction rolling in. That's next.
When shopping for personal loans, bait and switch rates can be deceiving. You can count on Credit Karma to help you find more accurate rates, because Credit Karma uses your credit profile to show you real offers with clear terms without hurting your credit scores. No smoke, no mirrors, just personalized rates. Download Intuit Credit Karma to get started.
I want to show you why I became American on purpose. So you take a little bit of this and you take a little bit of that, boom, you get America.
Craig Ferguson, American on Purpose. Saturday on CNN and next day on the CNN app.
My brother. He's unafraid. Oddly charming. Unpredictable.
Why are you here?
Nice to see you too, brother. For all that we've been through, I still trust you more than anyone.
We're family now. It's the most important thing.
Aaron Burnett out front. Weeknights at 7 on CNN and watch on the CNN app.
Come to us, come to us. We've all seen Russian bots on social putting out spammy content.
You went inside yourself.
Yeah.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts.
Yeah, and our politics lead, that's former First Lady Jill Biden praising Joe Biden right after his 2024 debate performance. Now, selling a book nearly 2 years later, former First Lady Biden says she wants to set the record straight about that night. So here she is in a new CBS News interview promoting her memoir out next week.
Were you horrified as you saw it unfold?
I wasn't horrified, I was frightened because I had never, ever seen Joe like that before or since. Never.
Or since?
Yes, or
You've
since.
never seen him like
never.
that?
No.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. I mean, as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. And it scared me to death.
Today, The Atlantic published some excerpts from the memoir, quoting her, quote, "Is he short-circuiting?" Jill Biden thought. "Is this a stroke? I felt like we were watching an AI hologram of the man we knew, and the hologram was glitching. Has he been drugged? Question mark. Now, I asked a senior Biden administration official what he thought about all of this, and he said, quote, "That's quite an untimely revelation. She should have said it at the time, because that fear reveals immediate concerns about his well-being, his health fragility, and his vulnerability, and brings into question his fitness for continued office," unquote. Again, that was a senior Biden administration official. Let's discuss with the panel. Jonah, what is your reaction to what we are now hearing from First Lady Jill Biden?
Well, first of all, it really underscores that doctor and Dr. Jill Biden is not a medical doctorate.
It's an education degree.
Yeah, so first of all, I would like to think that if my wife saw me on stage and thought I was having a stroke, she would, the technical term for it is do something, right? I mean, I
There were a couple of commercial breaks.
Yes, and then if you thought there was something like that had happened after the debate was over, maybe you wouldn't rush to like a diner for a campaign campaign appearance. I don't like to be too harsh about it. I've never been a huge fan of Joe Biden's, but I just think she's lying. I just don't think it makes sense with the time. There are a lot of Democratic people from the Biden campaign who don't believe that what she's telling. It just doesn't line up with how she reacted at the time or any of the reporting at the time.
Just to be clear, you think that she had seen plenty of moments like that behind the scenes, and that's why, and so you think it wasn't actually a shock.
I don't think she thought it was a stroke. I think that is I think she's trying to, in some weird way, protect her reputation for some reason. I can't quite get behind it, get my arms around it. And the idea that she had never seen him in a bad way before makes no sense, because we had seen him in a bad way. And one of the only reasons he wasn't in the dock for hoarding classified documents was because an independent counsel made a big stink that all Democrats screamed about for saying that he was too out of it to put on trial. So I don't get why she's doing this. I don't think it's good for Democrats. I don't think it's good for the country. But and I don't think it's good for her. But I flatly do not believe her story.
Well, it's definitely good for Fox's primetime lineup for the next week.
For sure.
Karen Finney, here's a new clip just released from CBS News asking if Jill Biden ever saw signs that Joe Biden, her husband, the president, was falling into any sort of cognitive decline. Here's that clip.
No. Truly.
No.
I mean, people were saying he wasn't the same Joe Biden.
Well, I don't think that's true. He was the essence of the same Joe Biden. But yeah, he was slowing down. He was getting older. I mean, we all observed that.
Karen?
I just don't think, I think I'll hurt my brain if I roll my eyes too hard. So I'm going to, and as you know, that's not good for me.
That's sensitive territory.
Right, let me not do that. I mean, this is ridiculous. Look, to my mind, though, let's go back. The moment Joe Biden said he was running for re-election, he broke his promise. The promise was, I will do one term, I will be a bridge to the next generation. And so, to my mind, everything that comes after that is a little bit of a sham. We had to defend it. He put the party in a terrible position. He put Kamala Harris in a terrible position, trying to run in 107 days. And I don't really see the point. I don't understand why write a book and why try to clean it up now instead of just let it go and let's focus on the future. Except what I will say is, the Democrat in me has to say this, a conversation about Joe Biden's frailties is a reminder that our conversations about Donald Trump's frailties are perfectly fair. It is fair for, and I know you do it all.
We just did it Tuesday when he had his checkup at Walter Reed.
And you got attacked for it, as I saw as well. So
well, I mute all that stuff. But, so you think the real problem was his decision to run for re-election?
Yeah, that's when he broke his promise.
The proverbial original sin,
correct,
you might say.
Oh, did you write a book about that?
Soon to be out in paperback.
There you go.
Do you think this matters for the midterms?
Rob, I mean, it depends what she says on her book tour. It could.
I assume this is the juiciest stuff because they want to sell books and because CBS News wants the people to watch.
Ultimately, I don't think so. I think it gets washed up in the noise. People are already turning to the $250 bill and all of that stuff. So probably not. But I don't think it's good for Democrats because it puts Democrats. Let's put it this way. I don't think it does an enormous amount of damage, but it opens up a bunch of old wounds. I don't think it's necessarily good for Kamala Harris. And it's just a conversation about Democrats when Democrats want to be having conversations about Republicans.
Yeah. Former Vice President Kamala Harris, whose book tour lasted longer than her 107-day campaign, and seems to be looking possibly to run again in 2028. She sat down in an interview with Jon Stewart. Take a listen.
I believe he was fully competent to serve.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
That surprises me, actually.
No, I do. There's a distinction to be made between running for president and being president.
What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, okay, Kamala.
That's honestly, that's the argument that his people make, that like all the stuff on the campaign trail is just performance, whereas his decision making was solid. I'm not saying I agree with that, but that is the argument by the Politburo, and we hear Vice President Harris making the same argument.
Yeah, look, she is entitled to her opinion. As I said, my opinion was he should not have been running for a second term. That was not what he promised. And as we saw, it did a real damage to the party. That being said, you were asking Jonah whether or not it's going to matter in 2028. Not with the way the economy is right now.
Right.
Not with the fact that we're at war and people are, economically, I don't care what Scott Bessent says, it's not, people don't feel like it's actually better.
Well, he's very wealthy, so I'm sure his...
For him, it's fine.
Yeah.
But,
Jonah, just this week, Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, who also might be running for president in 2028, he was asked if Harris should be the Democratic standard bearer in 2028 if she decides to run. He said the person that needs to be the nominee needs to be, quote, looking forward, not backward. What do you think?
I think Josh Shapiro is running for president, and that's a pretty good talking point for why it should be him instead of Kamala Harris.
All right, Jonah and Karen Finney, thank you so much. Appreciate it. For a seventh straight day, protesters are outside a New Jersey ICE detention facility. Democratic Senator Cory Booker, also from New Jersey, also went to that facility. He spoke with individuals detained inside. He's going to join me next to tell us what he saw. And later, we're going to have former reality star Spencer Pratt on the show. He is now running to be mayor of Los Angeles, and I will ask him about some things he said in which he seemed to embrace 9/11 truther, crazy conspiracy theories.
The idea that the Late Show franchise is ending is a really big deal.
We are heading down a dangerous path. I don't think that's the last we've heard of Stephen.
The Last Laugh, Stephen Colbert, now streaming on the CNN app.
Rome is not just about the places. It's really the people. And there's always so much to learn. I've never been here before. How cool is that, man? I want you to teach me how to do this. I have all these crazy dreams. To actually make them happen, it's a beautiful journey.
I can follow you like a dog to the end of the world. To the end of the world. To the end of the world. Do you want me to stop?
I get to call someone I've looked up to a colleague.
We're two former White House correspondents with a tireless work ethic.
We're ready for whatever comes our way.
The Situation Room with Wolf Blitzer and Pamela Brown, weekday mornings at 10 on CNN, and watch on the CNN app.
This is the moment you become queen.
I got a really good feeling about this.
The Green Lantern's oath is to protect people.
Mr. Potter, I think we can expect great things from you.
I'm Daniel Day Kim. I'm going to South Korea to figure out how this small nation conquered the world with its culture.
I saw your move.
That's gonna get people up out of their seat.
Tuck it out.
That's savage.
They are making Asians look really cool.
Join me and meet the artists and creators behind the phenomenon.
Hey, everything. Now streaming on the CNN app.
Welcome to The Lead. I'm Jake Tapper. This hour, protesters gathering outside an ICE detention facility in New Jersey for the 7th day in a row. While inside, lawyers say detainees are on a hunger strike. They're protesting the conditions that they're enduring. Senator Cory Booker, Democrat of New Jersey, toured the site yesterday. He joins me live to discuss what he saw in moments. Plus, a new poll shows an incredibly tight race for Los Angeles mayor, with former reality TV star Spencer Pratt in striking distance of current Democratic Mayor Karen Bass. So what are Pratt's plans to fix the most pressing issues in one of America's biggest cities? I'm going to ask him ahead. Plus, a former CIA officer has been charged with stealing tens of millions of dollars in gold bars and foreign currency from the U.S. government. Not only that, the FBI claims he only got the job by lying about his military service and education. How did all of this get by the CIA? And final preparations underway right now for a risky rescue mission after 5 men became trapped deep inside a flooded cave in the country of Laos. An international group of divers was able to find the men yesterday, more than a week after they got stuck there, but now the race is on to safely get them out through high waters and tight passageways. Elite tonight, protests have erupted in New Jersey, which has become the latest home to the battle over President Trump's immigration policy, specifically an ICE jail in the capital city of Newark known as Delaney Hall. This was the scene last night. Demonstrators filling the streets and erecting makeshift barriers, federal agents wielding batons and deploying pepper spray. The detainees inside that facility are reportedly on day 7 of a hunger and labor strike over inhumane conditions, they say. That's according to activists and attorneys representing those being held. CNN's Shimon Prokopez is on the ground for us there. Shimon, tell us what you're seeing there.
Well, Jake, it's really the first time probably since January in Minneapolis where we're seeing such a large presence outside an ICE facility with protesters here gathered. You're seeing this large number of ICE officers. They've been out here for now nearly a week trying to secure this facility, keep some of the protesters out. As you showed in that video from last night, there were some clashes. There were 6 arrests. Now, many of the people have been gathering here over concerns about the conditions inside, saying that the conditions inside are inhumane. People are not getting the proper treatment, medical treatment. The food is not properly being served. So there are a lot of conditions inside that is worrying a lot of the people that have been gathering outside. But this is really the first time, I think what's significant here is that we're seeing these kinds of conditions, these kinds of situations, clashes with ICE officers since January in Minneapolis. And many of the people have been out here for several days holding signs. Much of what we saw early in January, we're seeing some ICE officers here, Jake, move through the crowd. Not entirely clear why they're doing that. But usually when that happens, as you know, is when we start to see some of the protesters get agitated, and then there's an increase in activity. So we don't exactly know why that's happening. But many of the people here want the detainees to get the proper treatment, to get the proper care, and that's certainly the concern out here. Usually in the night, in the evening, as we get closer to the evening is when some of the clashes start to pick up. But most of the people have been out here, have been peaceful. You're hearing some music and people chanting. And we'll see, but they really want to get the proper care they feel for the people inside. Also, I should note 2 things. The New Jersey governor said that she tried to get her health inspectors inside, that the facility would not give them the full access that she wanted. The Department of Homeland Security is denying those allegations, and instead saying that if things don't get better here in terms of the security, that they may pull the CBP officers and agents from Newark Airport that process international travelers and bring them here, which could severely disrupt some of the international travel coming into this area.
All right, Shimon Prokopez in Newark, New Jersey. Thank you so much. And I misspoke earlier. Trenton is the capital of New Jersey, not Newark. I knew that. In addition to activists, Democratic lawmakers have visited this facility to witness what's happening firsthand, and that includes my next guest, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker. Senator, you went inside the facility yesterday. You said it is a moral stain in our nation. What did you see? What did the detainees tell you?
Well, remember, this is being run by a private corporation that showered Republicans with cash, have a $1 billion operation. So it is a private, for-profit prison now profiting off of people's pain. inside the conditions were insufficient and unacceptable. From lots of complaints about medical conditions not getting the proper treatment, from women not getting the proper gynecological care when they were in severe crisis, and obviously we're hearing complaints about the food and more. Remember, these people are New Jersey's neighbors. There are people in there that I talk to that have been in our country, not years, but decades, who have American children and grandchildren who have committed no crimes. The majority of the people there have committed no crimes. And so this is a problem and a moral abomination on multiple levels. And here is what the president and his ICE are doing right now, is they're not deconflicting a situation, they're escalating a situation, with literally my phone right before we began talking blowing up, because airport officials are saying that what the next administration is going to do to the city of Newark is target our airport and stop international flights, because they don't think international flights should be going to so-called sanctuary states. So I now see again, this is a president with a chaotic, cruel, and corrupt immigration enforcement, and we're seeing the epicenter now moving to Newark, New Jersey.
So just for our viewers, you're looking at live images from Newark, New Jersey right now. You said that the people in there hadn't broken the law. They obviously are in this country illegally. My question for you is, are they there waiting for immigration hearings? Are they there waiting to be deported? Like, who are they exactly?
Yeah, so I want to be clear. There are clearly some people. I talked to one guy 9 years ago, had a DWI charge. That's breaking the law. On the whole, most of the people there, their only crime, if you want to say it's a crime, is to be in this country without documentation. Many of the people I talked to were already trying to work through the process to get green cards and to get permanent legal status. And it was during that process in which they were pulled off of our streets and out of our neighborhoods. So again, that population that is in there, this is not the higher security facility that's in Elizabeth. This is a less secure facility because the people in there do not necessarily pose the kind of threats, the dangerous criminals, the people that Donald Trump said he was going to be focused on. And what we have now is a rapidly escalating situation that this administration, especially with their actions, are threatening our airlines and our airports right now, seems to be intent on escalating and not deconflicting. Yeah. And I tell you this, we're coordinating with state officials, county and local officials. I'm working with my delegation to continue and up the oversight. The governor, who's trying to bring health inspectors and being denied access, and even New York delegations officials. In fact, I was there with Congressman Espaillat. We're going to do everything we can to end this nightmare that Donald Trump has not only brought into our communities in New Jersey, but clearly across the country.
Tell me about the conditions inside. Is it just like we've seen images from facilities, you know, towards the border where there's just like big open air, well, not open air, but like big, fenced in places with like, reams of bunk beds. What is it like? Are there kids in there?
Well, there are no children in there, although I did meet 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds. Again, I was very struck by the thick New Jersey accent of one young man who was telling me that he doesn't even know the country they're trying to send him back to, has no memory of that country whatsoever, graduated from one of our high schools, is a decorated athlete. So these are our neighbors, these are people that are a part of our community, and they're enduring facilities that are not meeting their adequate medical needs. Many of them told me very difficult stories. There are people there, one woman who just gave birth weeks ago, as postpartum, was nurse feeding her American baby and was pulled into that again with no criminal charges, but having a lack of documentation. This is not the dignity that we should be affording to people. It is not only an assault on their dignity, it's an implication of our humanity that we're allowing this private corporation, for-profit corporation, to provide such inadequate facilities.
You're on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, so I do want to ask you about the news out of Iran. We've learned today that the U.S. and Iran have reached a tentative memorandum of understanding that would theoretically, if President Trump signs off on it, reopen the Strait of Hormuz and start a 60-day negotiation period to address Iran's nuclear program. Deal or no deal, before this war, the Strait was open, and we were already in talks with Iran about their nuclear program. You sit on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. You've run for president yourself. How would you get us out of this war?
Well, I would not have put myself in a position where Donald Trump has, where now he's negotiating out of a position of weakness and not a position of strength. Here is this minor country that is taking the largest, strongest nation on the planet Earth and brought us to a stalemate where Donald Trump, who said he was going to get a complete and utter surrender, has failed to do so. He's made the situation worse. And now he doesn't have a deal. He has an agreement to try to get us back to where we were before this war, which is opening the Strait of Hormuz. And understand this, Iran, now he's allowing our enemy in this case to now have access to billions of dollars like he already did when he allowed them to sell oil to the Chinese. So this man has weakened us as a nation. He's given away all of our leverage that we had before this war started. He has shown that this weaker country can now do like Ukraine is doing to Russia with just low-cost drones, continue to inflict damage and menace our allies and ourselves. This is a disaster, and the people that are paying for it, beyond the awful death of 14 soldiers and hundreds more injured, but the American people, we're spending billions more collectively at the pump for consumer goods. We're seeing inflation going up, all because of this president's disaster. So he should not have put ourselves in this in the first place. What would I have done? In his first term, when he had a deal that was working, where Iran had no highly enriched uranium, when Iran actually had oversight on its milling, its mining, its centrifuges, when the International Atomic Energy Commission was doing spot inspections, he tore that deal up. And what did Iran do? It raced to enrich uranium. And then Donald Trump bombed them and said that he completely obliterated their nuclear program. Well, he lied to the American people because months later, that was one of the pretexts he used to go to war. This is a disaster. It is truly him hurting the American people and creating chaos and again miring us in the Middle East.
Democratic Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, thanks for joining us. The Treasury Secretary was pressed today on President Trump's new $1.8 billion so-called anti-weaponization fund. Hear how he tried to defend the massive deal next. Plus, just yesterday, a concert lineup was rolled out as part of the America 250 celebration. But just 24 hours later, multiple singers are saying no way. We'll explain what happened ahead.
Don't stay too late.
I'll try.
Friday night, closing the books. Just a few more hours. That's not true. $120 for what? Gonna need some coffee. Uh-oh. Who authorized this? Did we pay this twice? Well, hello. Did Ramp just autocode all the invoices? All the receipts are here. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. Love closing the books on time. Ramp. Love finance.
Welcome to Drag Brunch. Every restaurant needs us for a different reason.
This place is struggling.
I want it to be successful. Priyanka, I really need your help. We attract a ton of customers, create a lot of buzz, and it makes the restaurants cha-ching.
Drag Brunch saved us.
Matching with my therapist was very quick and easy. I just filled out a couple of questions about things I wanted to work on. Before you know it, I was matched with a therapist. Really just checking in with somebody once a week is refreshing to be able to just share stories that you've had and share your feelings about a certain issue at work or something that's going on in your life. It's okay to feel things, it's okay to have rough days, and really just being able to speak about it helps get those things off your chest. I would say don't be afraid to find a better you.
I'm always shopping The RealReal.
They drop over 10,000 new arrivals every day.
Gucci, Dior, Louis Vuitton, Hermes,
Cartier, all up to 90% off retail.
Millions of people, millions of possibilities.
Visit therealreal.com for $25 off your first order. Terms apply.
I demand a lot of my body. I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm an actor, and I want to make the most of every single day. I do want to do 8 shows a week on Broadway. I do want to travel. And I know if I want a lot out of my body and out of my mind, my energy, I have to put the right things into my body. Morning! And it gives me such peace of mind to know that I have this really simple and yet trusted way of getting all the nutrition I need. Oh, it's good.
From first light to last call, from match point to slow mornings, from connection to quiet. For each phase of you, Natural Cycles is there. Natural Cycles is the FDA-cleared birth control app that uses your body temperature to give you a clear, personalized understanding of your cycle, with the precision to prevent pregnancy naturally. Simply wear the NC band overnight to measure temperature in your sleep and wake up to deeper cycle insights. Ready to go beyond just tracking your cycle? Switch to the Natural Cycles app today.
I demand a lot of my body. I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm an actor. And I want to make the most of every single day. I do want to do 8 shows a week on Broadway. I do want to travel. And I know if I want a lot out of my body and out of my mind, my energy, I have to put the right things into my body.
Morning!
And it gives me such peace of mind to know that I have this really simple and yet trusted way of getting all the nutrition I need. Oh, it's good.
Hey, don't forget about the Crushers game at 10:30.
Crusher's gonna crush.
Shop now at myskylight.com with 4 months free returns guaranteed.
In our politics lead, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent today, citing ongoing litigation, dodged questions about President Trump's settlement with the IRS of this lawsuit and the ensuing plan as part of the settlement to set up this $1.776 billion reparation fund for victims of what the president considers the weaponization of the Justice Department during the Biden administration. Here is all Secretary Bessent would say.
President Trump is a great American who has endured more than 10 years of nonstop harassment and weaponization from the federal and state government actors. A bad actor at the IRS leaked more than 400,000 tax returns, including the Trump family, all the employees, and that's how we got here now. No American should be targeted for political reasons, and every citizen deserves fair treatment and full protection of the law.
With us now, Republican Congressman Mike Flood of Nebraska. We brought you some clips of a feisty town hall in his district yesterday, you might remember. Congressman, what do you make of the Treasury Secretary's answer?
Well, I think Donald Trump has been under assault from actors in the federal government for a long time, but so have pro-lifers, so has Turning Point USA, so have school board members that were questioning, or school board were people who cared about what the school board was doing, parents. They were under assault in this lawfare world under Joe Biden. Listen, I think the fund makes sense from the standpoint of stopping the federal government from weaponizing against everyday Americans. I really do think that we have to talk about what the purpose of the fund is. If you're a pro-life American and the Department of Justice is screening juries, asking about their religion, asking them questions about whether this is the right call or that is the right call, that is completely out of bounds and it should be stopped.
So if that's your take on this all, and let's just posit for the sake of argument that all of that was inappropriate lawfare. I think there are probably people that would disagree with you, but let's just, for the sake of argument, what about President Trump telling Attorney General Bondi to go after Adam Schiff and Letitia James and James Comey? What about the investigation into Cassidy Hutchinson? What about the investigation into E. Jean Carroll for allegedly for perjury? Do you not see that other people can look at what's going on right now and say that's also lawfare, except it's against the president's critics?
Well, in those situations that you just talked about, it takes a grand jury on the federal system probable cause before they indict.
Same thing with Trump.
As we have seen several times throughout this current president's term, his second term, they have attempted to get grand jury indictments, and grand juries have said no. However, like we're talking, like when I see the fund, I'm thinking about pro-life Americans. I'm thinking about Turning Point USA, about people that just disagree with their government. You know, James Comey was a government actor. He had government resources and arguably did things that were out of bounds. You know, Jean Carroll, it's been proven in some sense that she, in fact, did have her efforts underwritten by a donor. And so that, if true, is perjury. But hey, we've got a court system that will protect the innocent here, or those that prosecutors can't meet their burden on. We have to look at the big picture. We have to look at what everyday Americans are facing and how this all plays out so that we can stop warfare, lawfare, this misuse of going after anybody. And if it's happening under President Trump, then those individuals should receive compensation from a fund like this. So it does make sense in that regard.
The fund came up at your town hall earlier this week. Your answer got something of a smattering of applause. It's worth listening to. Take a listen.
I clearly think Congress needs to have an oversight role in this before I can sign off or support this. But listen, this is less than a week old, so I am going to be back in Washington on Tuesday. I will say this, though. I do not want $1 of that going to anybody who physically assaulted police officers, period.
There are a bunch of those people who physically assaulted police officers who are going to apply for that fund. There's an article about it in Slate today. I mean, people who were convicted or pleaded guilty even who are applying for those dollars. If you don't want it to go to them, what are you going to do about it?
Well, we do have to have some congressional oversight, and I don't want one dime going to any insurrectionist was in that Capitol on January 6, 2021, that violently was attacking or in any way assaulting a law enforcement officer or anybody else. And I think I speak for the great majority of Americans. Take party aside.
All right.
What happened on that day in that Capitol was so offensive. The idea that they could even be considered victims is offensive. And I would go a step further. And I said this at the time. I disagreed with anybody involved in that ever getting a pardon. I just do not think we are looking at the same video, if that's the case. What I saw does not deserve a pardon. It does not deserve a victim's fund or one dime of our taxpayer dollars.
Republican Congressman Mike Flood of Nebraska, thanks so much. It's always good to have you on, sir.
My pleasure.
A former CIA officer is behind bars tonight, accused of stealing millions of dollars of gold bars from the federal government. How does this much currency even go missing? CNN's John Miller is here to explain next.
This is something no one would have expected even a few months ago.
There's new drama here on Capitol Hill tonight.
You know, I think a lot of women right now ask that question.
Do y'all ever wonder if the first chiropractor was just bad at murder? I can't take my uncle anywhere. If you take him out to eat and he has some good food, he has to audibly, loudly catcall his food. He ordered the lobster bisque. This man goes, "Oh, she's thick."
How often do you go in this thing?
Daily.
Tech bros are desperate to live longer. Are you comfy? I feel like I'm in an air fryer, but sure. GLP-1s.
Landmark medication of our lifetime.
There's so much bad information that the really good information gets drowned. You said by 2035, you anticipate AI will be able to cure most diseases. Really?
Kara Swisher Wants to Live Forever. Now streaming on the CNN app.
You are either insanely talented or just insane.
24 chefs, 24 challenges, and 24 non-stop hours.
All new 24 and 24, Sunday night at 8 on Food Network. Disaster, the Chernobyl meltdown. All episodes now streaming on the CNN app.
Rome is not just about the places. It's really the people. And there's always so much to learn. I've never been here before.
How cool is that, man? I want you to teach me how to do this.
I have all these crazy dreams. To actually make them happen, it's a beautiful journey.
Every weeknight, we cover it all. From legal battles, at least one juror has now been excused for political showdowns. How much you think that weighs on the president and all the conversations in between? Wayne from Washington. Wayne, what's your question? Will you take this all the way to the Supreme Court?
I'm not refuting a syllable of what you said.
What do you say to people who are looking to find their voice?
All the news. Laura Coates Live. Weeknights at 11 on CNN and watch on the CNN app.
Scared?
Until death do us part.
This is the last run. I'm in a little bit of trouble. I should have never let you back into my life. You think anyone could be redeemed?
You will have an empire unassailable, and our children will rule it forever.
We act with holy purpose.
It is no longer safe here. There will be no doubt. The gods have chosen to rule.
In our Law and Justice lead, the shocking arrest of a former CIA officer. The FBI says it arrested David Rush after finding hundreds of gold bars, millions of dollars, and more than 36 watches, many of them pricey Rolexes, all stashed away in his Virginia home. And according to court filings, Rush, who had top secret clearance, repeatedly lied on applications about his military service and his education. Let's bring in CNN's John Miller to discuss. John, how in the world could the CIA miss all of this?
It's a great question, Jake. When I got my security clearance renewal, not even the original, they still went back to my high school through all of my employment records and double-checked everything that was in the application. In this case, you have an individual who claimed, according to the complaint filed by the FBI, to be a former Navy test pilot, like Top Gun, to have run a 145-member Top Gun school between the Navy and the Army, to have had a master's degree from one university and another degree from another. None of this stuff, according to the FBI, checked out. But that's before we even get to $40 million in gold bars. So we have to ask, what kind of job did he have at the CIA that he could dial up orders for money of, gold bars in the millions, foreign currency in the millions? A lot of questions. Could be the tip of the iceberg here, really.
What could have tipped the agency off to this?
A couple of things. Number one, it could have just been the sheer amount of money that he ordered up in terms of gold bars and cash, and then a year into that saying, well, where are the results from this? Tell us on this operation. Two, it could have been when his security clearance came up for renewal, he might have gotten into the polygraph and crashed there. And three, it could be just that he took a lot of foreign currency, according to the FBI, but what they found at home was $2 million in U.S. currency. Suspicious transaction reports from banks converting that money into cash. We don't know what the tripwire was, but it tripped.
What is the damage assessment from all this?
Well, it's interesting. The cases that you and I know, FBI agent Robert Hansen spying for the Russians, Aldrich Ames or Jim Nicholson, turncoat CIA agents that gave devastating amounts of classified information. In this case, it seems all the money he had, according to the FBI and the CIA, came from the CIA as opposed to a foreign power. So the main damage may be just to reviewing the systems to figure out how all of this slipped by the nets. But there's one other question we've got to ask here. Sure, we want to know, what was his position in the CIA as a senior executive who could call up this amount of money for an operation? But the bigger question is, what was the op? What operation cost $40 million in this kind of funds, foreign cash and gold? Is that to recruit Iranian insurgents? Is it dealing with Mexican cartels? Is it recruiting insurgents in Cuba? It has to be a major operation and quite unique. And I'm sure that the CIA is not happy about the questions circling around even that.
All right, John Miller, thanks so much. Appreciate it. He rose to fame as a reality TV star on MTV, and now Spencer Pratt is polling near the top of the field in the race to be the next mayor of Los Angeles. He joins me to explain his top priorities next.
We're going to Normandy for the 80th anniversary of D-Day.
The more I talk about it, the more I remember.
I was the only woman and the only nurse.
I could have been one of those tombstones.
Look at the beach you came on right there.
You're supposed to enjoy life to the fullest and get the best out of every day.
My life is a miracle.
Why We Dream, now streaming on the CNN app.
I can follow you like a dog to the end of the world. To the end of the world. To the end of the world. Do you want me to stop?
Scared?
Until death do us part.
There's something about this place. It's big, it's messy, it's magical and majestic.
It's really our passion to share what we do with people like you.
Now it's our time, and we're gonna make the best out of it.
Vive la France!
Eva Longoria, Searching for France, now streaming on the CNN app.
You will have an empire unassailable, Rhaenyra.
There will be no doubt. The gods have chosen to rule.
Anything is possible when everything is possible. Rick and Morty, new episodes Sundays at 11 p.m. Only on Adult Swim. New season starts June 15th on HBO Max.
It's been a crazy 4-year journey. Doesn't get much bigger than playing in a World Cup on home soil. 1, 2, 3.
30 seconds.
Wake up. Breaking overnight. Catch up.
New details and more questions.
Start your mornings here.
This is a pivotal week.
CNN News Central. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on CNN and watch at 8 on the CNN app.
What's happening in the arena? I'll bring you the latest from the players who are actually in the game. Because I want answers, and so do you.
The Arena with Casey Hunt, weekdays at 4 on CNN and watch on the CNN app.
Welcome to Drag Brunch. We attract a ton of customers, create a lot of buzz, and it makes the restaurants cha-ching.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta reports, Weed 8, now streaming on CNN.
All There Is with Anderson Cooper. Listen at cnn.com/allthereis.
Let's brawl.
They pick their teams from the best barbecue talent in the country.
This is the best cook on any meat that I've had today.
You ready to kick some barbecue brawl butt?
All new Barbecue Brawl Monday at 9 on Food Network.
In our politics lead, it is an extremely tight race for Los Angeles mayor right now. A new UC Berkeley Los Angeles Time poll shows